Mind-blowing DNA breakthroughs cases solved years later with new technology. Imagine living in fear for decades, knowing that a killer is out there, free, while families are left with unanswered questions. Cold cases that seemed impossible to solve were once filed away, collecting dust. But with the rise of cutting-edge DNA technology, mysteries once deemed unsolvable have been cracked wide open, sometimes decades later. DNA has become the ultimate detective, solving crimes, reuniting families, and rewriting history. In this video, we uncover the most mind-blowing cases where DNA technology changed everything. Case number 1. The Golden State Killer, justice after 40 years. For more than a decade, a sadistic predator known as the Golden State Killer terrorized California. Between 1974 and 1986, he committed at least 13 murders, 50 sexual assaults, and over 100 burglaries. He would stalk neighborhoods, break into homes, and leave families forever haunted. But after 1986, he vanished, like a ghost. Police spent decades chasing leads, but the trail always went cold. Then, in 2018, science did what detectives couldn't. Investigators turned to genetic genealogy, a breakthrough method that compares DNA from crime scenes to information in genealogy databases, commonly used by people searching for their ancestry. By uploading the suspect's unknown DNA profile to public databases, they found distant relatives and built a family tree leading straight to Joseph James DeAngelo, a former police officer. After more than 40 years, the Golden State Killer was arrested. His own DNA, the very thing that made him untouchable for decades, sealed his fate. Case number 2. The murder of Christy Myrick, solved with a cup of coffee. For 25 years, the brutal murder of Christy Myrick remained a mystery. Teacher's lifeless body was found in her home in 1992, leaving the community shaken. Investigators had DNA from the crime scene but no suspect to match it to. Fast forward to 2018. Detectives uploaded the unknown DNA to a public genealogy site, just like in the Golden State Killer case. This led them to Raymond Rowe, a popular wedding DJ known as DJ Freeze. To confirm their suspicion, undercover officers attended one of his shows, collected a used water bottle and chewing gum, and tested it. The results were a match. After decades of silence, DNA technology finally spoke for Christy Myrick. Her murderer was behind bars. Case number 3. The Boy in the Box, America's oldest unsolved mystery. In 1957, the body of a young boy was found in a cardboard box in Philadelphia. With no identity, no missing child reports, and no leads, he became known only as the Boy in the Box. For over 6 decades, investigators tried everything, plastering his image on billboards, re-examining evidence, and pursuing thousands of leads. But technology simply wasn't advanced enough to uncover his identity. Then, in 2022, genetic genealogy changed everything. By analyzing the degraded DNA from his remains, researchers built a family tree. Finally, after 65 years, they identified him as Joseph Augustus Zarelli. Although his killer remains unknown, his name, his identity, was finally restored. DNA science gave a nameless child his story back. Case number 4. The 1974 cold case of Carla Walker. Carla Walker was a 17-year-old girl from Texas, kidnapped from a parking lot in 1974. Her boyfriend was knocked unconscious while she was brutally attacked and taken. Days later, her body was discovered in a culvert, but police had no solid leads. For 46 years, her family lived in agony, waiting for justice. The case sat in a cold case file until 2020. A genetic genealogy expert took the small amount of DNA evidence from Carla's clothing and ran it through advanced sequencing. It led to a match: Glenn McCurley, a 75-year-old man who had long been suspected but never confirmed. When confronted, he confessed, admitting to the crime that haunted Carla's family for decades. DNA technology gave them the justice they thought they would never see. Case number 5. The unbelievable story of the Grim Sleeper. For over 30 years, a serial killer prowled Los Angeles, targeting women. He was given the nickname the Grim Sleeper because there was a 14-year gap in his killings. Despite leaving behind DNA evidence, police had no suspect in their database. But in 2010, a revolutionary forensic technique changed the game. Instead of finding a direct match, investigators searched for familial DNA, someone related to the killer. This led them to Christopher Franklin, who had been arrested for an unrelated crime. But Christopher wasn't the killer. The DNA indicated it was someone closely related to him. That person? His father, Lonnie Franklin Jr. Undercover officers set up a fake birthday party near Franklin's house. When he attended, they took his used pizza crust, cups, and utensils and tested them. The results were a perfect match to the DNA found on the crime scene. After decades of hunting, the grim sleeper was finally caught, all thanks to familial DNA technology. How DNA technology is changing the future. These cases prove that time no longer protects the guilty. With forensic advancements, DNA genealogy databases, rapid DNA testing, and AI-powered forensics, criminals who once escaped justice are now being hunted down, even decades later. But it's not just about solving murders. DNA breakthroughs are also heavy checkmark freeing innocent people from prison, heavy checkmark identifying missing persons, heavy checkmark unraveling long-lost family secrets. We are entering a future where no crime truly goes unsolved. Conclusion: DNA is rewriting history, bringing justice and exposing dark secrets. Cases once left in the shadows are now seeing the light of truth. What do you think about these groundbreaking DNA breakthroughs? Should all cold cases be reopened with this technology? Let us know in the comments. And if you found this story fascinating, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible dark truth stories.